Hello guys, in this video I will going to make this web page responsive by using media queries. So basically what I will going to do is I will going to use media queries to make this navigation of the web page responsive. As you can see right now, if I open up the console of the browser by pressing the F12 key on the keyboard, you can see by opening up the console, you can see your web page size. As you can drag around the console, and you can see that it is showing you the web page size. So what I will going to do is I will going to make a media query for the size, maximum size, which is 480 pixel. Okay, so this is the maximum size of the 480 pixel, so I will going to make the media query for this size, and I will going to make this navigation hidden, which is right now using the nav class, and then I will going to make it another I will going to make another navigation for this media query. Okay, so how can I do it is by going to the brackets and opening up the CSS file. So first of all, I will going to make a comment. So in order to make a comment in CSS file, what you can do is you can type out the / and then the static symbol, and then inside here you can place out your comment. So I will going to specify that from here it is a media queries section. Okay, and then to close the comment you need to type out the static and then /. Okay, now I will going to add in the media query. To add in the media query, first type out the @ symbol and then media, and then hit space, and then specify the maximum width. So I will going to apply this media query for maximum width of 480 pixel. Okay, now inside here what I will going to do is I will going to define the style for image element. The image element, which is right here, it is using the image element in HTML file. So I will going to, if I show you right now, if I just shrink this web page, it is not shrinking along the web page. Okay, so what I can do is I can make this image shrink as well by using media query. So in here I will going to specify the width, and I will going to specify it as 100%. Okay, now if I go back and now if I hit refresh again to refresh the web page and the contents of the web page, now if I shrink this web page, you can see that the image is also shrinking along with the size of the web page. So that's how I did it over here by using this media query. Now what I need to do is I need to define the unordered list from scratch. So if I delete it over here, now I will going to make this navigation again for the media query. Now I just copy it from here and I paste it inside here. Okay, now I will going to specify the comment for this navigation. Now in order to specify the comment in HTML file, what you can do is you can type out the less than symbol and then exclamation mark and then dash, and inside here you can specify your comment. So this navigation is for the media query, Okay, and now to close the comment you need to type out the dash and then greater than symbol. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to differentiate the class for this navigation, and now I will call it as nav2. Okay, now I will go back to the CSS file and I can hide out this navigation which is using the nav class at the moment for the media query. Okay, so I will going to hide it. Now I will going to specify the nav as a selector, nav class, and then I will going to specify the display property as none. Now if I go back and refresh the web page, you can see that the navigation has turned off. The style which is using which was a nav has turned off. Now if I just exceed the limit from 480 pixel, you can see that it has it turned back on. Okay, and if I go back again up to the 480 pixel, you can see that it has turned off. So now I will going to define the CSS for nav2 class, okay, which containing the navigation for this media query. Now I will going to define the CSS for the nav2 class. Now I will going to display it as block elements. Now if I go back and refresh it again, okay, now you can see that the elements are appearing in block wise. What I will going to do is I will going to specify the CSS for the nav2 list item element, the list item element which is containing under the nav2 class, and I will going to specify the list style type property, and I will going to specify as none, and then I will going to specify the display property as inline block element. Okay, now if I go back to the web page and refresh it, you can see that the elements list items are appearing as inline block elements, and list style type is basically now changed back to none. Okay, now I will going to specify the width for this list items which are under the nav2 class, and I will going to specify as 15% width. Now if I just go back to the web page and refresh this web page, you can see that the width has changed to 15% for each list item on this navigation. Okay, now what I will going to do is I will going to specify the style for the anchor elements which are present under the nav2 class. So I will going to specify the style for those elements as well. I will going to display those elements, anchor elements, as block. I will going to specify padding as 15 pixel from top and bottom, and 0 from left and right. Now if I go back to the web page and refresh the web page, you can see that the padding has changed to the 15 pixel from top and bottom, and 0 pixel from left and right. Now I will going to specify the text decoration property to none, and I will going to specify the text align property to display the text in the center position. Now if I go back and again refresh the web page, you can see that the text has appearing in the center position, and text decoration is now changed back to the none. Okay, now I will going to specify the font weight for the navigation, which will going to be bold, and the background which will going to be a color which is #222. Okay, so it will going to be this color right here for the navigation. Alright, now I will going to change the color of the font to Alice blue. Okay, now if I go back to the web page and refresh the web page, you can see that the navigation has applied the proper CSS which I defined in the media query. Okay, now I will going to define the style for the nav2, basically for the anchor element which will going to be hover when the mouse will going to hover it, and then the proper CSS file I will going to define for those. So I will going to make the hover elements background to blue. Okay, and then I will going to define the outline as none. Now if I go back to the web page and refresh this web page, you can see that the color has changed back to blue. Okay, and rest of the JavaScript is working just like before. Now I will going to define the styling for the nav2 and the active class, for the active class. And I will going to change the background color to cornflower blue. You can change any color you want, okay, it's up to you. Now if I go back to the web page and refresh the web page, you can see that the color is changing of the active link, okay, to cornflower blue. So that's about it for this video, guys. I will going to make some additional changes to this navigation in the upcoming video, and also to the content of the web page, making it more responsive. So that's about it. Please like my videos, share these videos with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching.